the support and resistance areas, the trends, the reversal patterns, candle formations, your trade system requirements, and then I must tell you the context. Alright, so other than those specifics, the bigger picture, what else is happening that might trip you up if you don't foresee it. Alright, that's how we trade. So the trigger is the focus, the zone is the context. Alright, I mentioned here, when special forces do an op, they look at every possibility, every possible scenario. They don't go out there with one plan, with one specific objective. They know that when it comes to warfare, every single possibility must be prepared for. You don't know what the enemy is going to do. You plan this, and all great battles have been based on that. That the general will sit at the head of this battle and look on the field in front of him and say, right, I'm sending my cavalry around the right, and I'm sending this around here, and I'm going to take my infantry up the middle. And that's exactly, what was I watching the other day? It was an epic battle. It was a Roman, it was actually Caesar and Pompey. And Caesar and Pompey at their final battle, and it was exactly that. Pompey had assumed that Caesar would be predictable, as he was in his last battle, his last encounter, where he had literally been wiped out just about. And for once, Caesar, who was outnumbered by 2 to 1, he had 20,000 troops and Pompey had about 45,000 troops. And what happened there was that Caesar had, for the first time, applied a different tactic. And so what he did is he threw his cavalry, he made it, oh no, sorry, oh my word, we're going to have to edit this and cut it out. Pompey was using the same strategy he had used on Caesar. So he sent his infantry off to the right. And Caesar saw that and realized, saw the dust behind the ridges and realized that Pompey was doing the same maneuver he had done last time. And it was a successful maneuver. And had Caesar not seen that, it no doubt would have wiped him out. But because he saw it, he could change his tactic. He was prepared for plan B. So what he did is he thinned out his infantry and he took every third man out of his front ranks, out of his main fighting force, and he pushed them back and he hid behind his cavalry. And they literally hid out of sight. And Pompey had sent his cavalry around with the greatest confidence that they outnumbered the cavalry of Caesar's by 4 to 1 or something. But what he hadn't counted on was that Caesar had reinforced that cavalry. And Caesar then moved forward with his infantry. And he took that risk. He knew that if he could quash the cavalry of Pompey, he would have broken the back. And so he took a risk and he took a weakened infantry forward into battle. And he took a hammering for a while. But what happened behind the scenes was he completely wiped out Pompey's cavalry and so broke the back of the battle. And those forces obviously rejoined the main infantry and they pushed through and won a decisive battle. Right, I don't think that interests you, and possibly it doesn't, particularly the way I took off and got all my facts wrong. Alright, so that's just what I want to get at you, is you've got to have plan B, and you've got to understand the entire context of everything. You can't just think a trade plan is about your trading system. It's not. It's much bigger than that. Right, remember it's not only about you. You need to analyze also the group mentality. Alright, remember markets are group mentality. They are a lot of people looking at a lot of information. So you've got to analyze what you're seeing, you've got to analyze what your trading system is saying, but also understand there's a group mentality here. If there's an obvious support and if there's an announcement coming and it's also sort of corresponds to that, know that most people are going to probably trade in that direction. Alright, so just understand that as well. So that you can understand what is most likely to happen at those larger support and resistant areas. Alright, does this create a problem with your trade plan? Alright, or does it back it? Does it assist it? Does it further its cause? And that's what I said to you, is that if I have a trade planner that I've got ticked off 90% of the way, everything is good for my system, my trigger is good, but there's something in the bigger picture, there's a support or resistance that I think the group mentality is going to win over and it's going to go against my trade, I'll squash that trade. I won't take that trade. I'll say, listen, rather err on the side of caution and not make a mistake and not throw away money and not be pulled into an emotional trade. Maybe it's just me. I don't have to trade every single minute of the day. I really don't. I love, it's almost strategically, lying in wait, planning the battle. I love getting those trades right that I know I've prepared well for. It's far more rewarding to me. Taking a quick spontaneous trade and making 50 pips doesn't give me much of a rush. I don't enjoy that because it was luck. It was just pure luck. One of those trades the next time is going to turn into the one that burns me and I'm going to lose 40, 50. Goes nowhere. You trade like that all the time, you're going to go nowhere. All right, you might not break your bank, but you certainly won't get rich doing that. You're going to throw away as much as you win. It's here or there. Right, strategizing, planning, outsmarting the market. That's the game. That's what I'm in it for. That's what I love. All right, and the more information I have, the more comprehensive my trade plan, the better I do it. I'm not overcomplicating things though. All right, I still keep it simple. My trade strategy is incredibly simple. I don't have a cluttered chart. I don't have various analysts and news feeds that I apply to. I don't have any of that. I have my interpretation of the market based on sound trading criteria or trading, principles. Then I have my trigger, my system. But I have checked the horizon and I have sent out my scouts and I have looked at the bigger picture. All right, that's really all I want to cover. This is what it's about. This is a trade planner. And I think I might do another video or two and actually bring it up again like I did in step 3, just as a reminder, and go through another one again. And I want you though, at this point of your course, to know that this is your single greatest resource. Everything else I've discussed is important. And as I've said before as well, that I might have gone too deep here, I might have gone too big, I might have given you more information than you needed. I don't believe there's any harm in that. You can take what works for you and what doesn't you can throw away. You can watch the videos you want, you can get boring, not watch the rest of the videos you don't want to watch. I don't want to under-deliver, I want to over-deliver. I want you to have paid for a course that has benefited you, that you feel was great value for money. I don't want you to feel that, this and that. And that's why I say I could have done the course in a quarter of the time. I could have done a 10 video course of 10 minutes each, done. But you know what? I don't believe, it's those little things that make a difference. It's sometimes the unforeseen. It's sometimes the tiniest thing, the most unobvious thing that actually makes the biggest difference at the end of the day. So that's what I want to do with this course. I want to expose you to every possible resource you can get your hands on, as broad a spectrum of understanding of what makes a trader's mindset work. You must know that your belief systems are critical. You must know that. If you don't know that, you can't do anything about it. You must understand what emotions might arise and how they might affect you. You've got to know that. You've got to know that a comfort zone is a bad place to be and why it could affect your trading. You've got to know that. All right, so I don't think at all that there's anything that you really can overlook. I think there are things that you can maybe move through quicker because everybody's different and you might have that discipline under control. But the trade planner, that's your tool, that's your resource. All right, doesn't matter what system you're using. And I'm actually looking at another little service at the moment where we might start doing this. I might make this trade planner a key functionality of something going forward because I believe it's that important. I believe it's that critical if done correctly. All right, that's it. I'm waffling again now as always. All right, thank you guys. Cheers, and speak to you later.